They got a banquet for us in the background. Hello, everybody. Sam McKewon along with Tom Shatel for Tom Shatel's Press Box. I'm filling in for Evan Bland, who's working on a feature story. He'll be back next week with Tom. Tom here, Matt Rule, talked for about a half hour today. And, he had a lot to say about a lot of different things. Anything jump out at you?
Yeah, he usually does. More talk about the details, getting the details right. He talked about highlight. Nebraska's made a lot of highlight plays over the years, but there's been too many lowlights, and they're trying to clean those up. And he talked about the quarterbacks are doing things they haven't had quarterbacks do. But I got the sense he's a little nervous right now about he's probably going to play a freshman quarterback, and there's going to be mistakes. It's just you got to minimize them.
For sure. It's as I was thinking about it, these are the two highest rated quarterbacks he's ever had in any of his college coaching stops, that being Dylan Raiola and Daniel Kalen. And, yeah, he mentioned that the protections are, they're doing stuff with protections he's never seen with college quarterbacks. So, obviously, he's happy there. At the running back spot, there seems to be more of a question. Remember last spring he was really excited about that group. They're pretty banged up. So, Gabe Irvin's not really doing much, and Ramir Johnson's kind of banged up and things other than that. What'd you think of his comments about that?
Yeah, I think this is one of those top storylines of the spring, Sam. I really feel like they need to identify a running back and or running backs, but hopefully not more than two, and get a running game going. The O-line seems to be developing, but listen to the coordinators talk. The running game might be short passing. And then that's okay.
Right.
But at some point, you got to line up and run it. And so, to me, that's a big deal. Somebody should emerge, if not this spring, definitely early fall. But yeah, right now that doesn't seem to be one of those areas that is all cleared up.
Emmett Johnson kind of started the back half of last season. Rule says he wants Johnson to kind of get to the point where he's making big plays all the time. And then he mentioned Ramir Johnson. They want to put on the game tape from Michigan 2021, almost as if the coaches need to recognize what Ramir Johnson can do. And that's always been a challenge for some of Nebraska's coaching staff.
It's been a puzzle. And you figure there's a good or maybe a great player in there somewhere. Who's going to bring it out, and what type of offense is going to bring it out of him? And Ramir's going to bring it out too, and he's going to get healthy. But I like the fact that he's talked about vanilla spring game, because you don't want to showcase two freshman quarterbacks by throwing so much on them and putting so much pressure on a spring game. Just go vanilla. And again, this program needs to work on being really good vanilla. They aren't very good vanilla. They don't do the little things right.
Good point.
And I think that this spring is about leadership, and are the players going to take what they've learned and kind of take over and become the coaches? That's hard to do. I talked to Rule off the side a little bit later. He talked about how he thinks that should happen by year 3, but hopefully year 2. So I think that's something to watch. I think there's a lot of guys a lot of older guys who can make that happen now.
I agree. They got an old team. They have. We were talking to the offensive lineman today. Well, I think one of them's 23, one of them's 24. This is not a young team.
That's what it used to be on the line.
It is. And they've got a bunch of guys that are kind of, 4th, 5th, 6th-year seniors. So they should be in good position at that group. And Donovan Raiola, I know you were talking to Rule while Raiola was talking, but that's the best mood I've ever seen Donovan Raiola in. Maybe it's because his nephew's throwing here, but, he was in a pretty good mood. He was laughing and smiling and talking. So I think he probably feels pretty good about his group.
Well, he's got to protect his nephew. Got to make sure he's upright next year.
Yep.
I think they should feel good about it. But they just got to go make it work. And we're all in that zone right now. Media, readers, fans, all of us, where we've kind of heard some stuff before. We need to go see it on the field.
Yep.
And so hopefully that's where we are.
I think we are there. We will be back next week with the press box. There's no practice on Saturday, so we will not be here on Saturday. Tom's going to have a column on Sunday about his conversation with Rule. We'll be back here next week for an open practice and for more Matt Rule action. For Tom, I'm Sam. Thanks for listening to Tom Shatel's Press Box.